It's Kyle, and today we're taking a look at the multi-purpose aluminum alloy protective shell or dog cage for the GoPro Hero 3, 4, 3 Plus camera from China Buy. So China Buy had reached out to me and they wanted to review some products from them, and one that kind of caught my eye as being a little bit interesting and maybe useful was this dog cage. This dog cage or protective shell, aluminum housing kind of thing, whatever you want to call it. This is it, and this is what it came as. So it's a shell for your GoPro camera that you put your camera inside of, and then it has some interesting features. One of them being a threaded lens ring. So if you want to put polarizing or ND filters on the front here, you can do that as long as they're a 37mm filter. They just screw right on the front of it here. There's also things like the included hot shoe adapter, as well as GoPro mount, which means you can put hot shoe, say a microphone, onto it, and it allows you access to all of the standard GoPro connectors, micro USB port, micro SD card, and buttons, as well as all the kinds of things you need to access in order to operate the camera. So let's go ahead and install it and then talk a little bit about my thoughts on it. Installation is pretty straightforward. You take the cage and your GoPro camera and you shove it inside. Now, I have already had to modify the cage once because one thing that happened when I got it was that there's this piece of tape or foam on the side of it here, which is designed to hold the camera in place. How it works is there's a little piece of foam here, and then this little screw pushes on the back of the foam when you screw it in to hold the camera into the cage. A very simple way of securing the camera into the cage. However, on mine, the foam was too thick, and after pushing I was able to push the camera about halfway in, but then what happened was it got jammed, and trying to get it out, I almost ripped the front plate off of my camera. So I did have to remove that piece of foam and replace it with a thinner piece of little Gorilla tape inside there. But after doing that, it does come in and out, seems fine. And I've got a GoPro Hero 4 Silver in here, but I've tried it with all of the different, the Hero 3, the Hero 3 Plus, and all of those seem to work fine as well. And there's the camera installed. So you can see on the front, we have access to the buttons and the LCD screen. We can read everything. We can see the LED lights on the side of it, and the record button works on the top. We have access to the Wi-Fi button on a Hero 3 or Hero 3 Plus, as well as the settings button on a Hero 4 right there. And then on this side here, we can see the HDMI out, the micro USB out, as well as the micro SD card slot. You can see you have full access to the LCD screen on the back of the camera as well. So there's the camera installed. Now let's go ahead and, let's throw on some of these things. So it comes with a 37mm UV filter, and you can take this and just screw it onto the front of the lens here. So this is a great protective lens. Instead of having to buy a protective lens, this works as basically doing that. And if it ever breaks or scratches, you just go pick up a new 35mm lens and you screw it on instead. Then there's also a protective lens cap, which snaps on just like this. And it does make your camera look pretty cool. You can see you've got, it kind of makes it look different and unique. It does add a fair bit of bulk because this cage is not the lightest thing ever, but that's how it goes. And then we'll go ahead and we can throw on the hot shoe adapter. So it comes with this hot shoe adapter right here. It goes on the top just like this, and then the included screw sits in the top. Grab your screwdriver. Now, anything you've got that mounts in a hot shoe, such as maybe a continuous LED light, if you want to film at night or in low light, or a mic, say you're using a Rode Video Mic Pro or something like that, and you wanted to be able to have that mounted directly onto the camera, you can mount that up there. And then on the bottom here, we've got a 1/4x20" threaded bolt hole. So if you want to mount this directly onto a tripod, you can do that using this hole, as well as these two littler screw holes, which are designed to hold the GoPro mounting piece in place. So this little GoPro mount here, you can see it has two little holes in it, and that snaps on there. And then you just take a screwdriver and mount this on here. This brings us to the conclusion, and it's a bit of a tricky one. Now, this is a fairly interesting piece of hardware for your GoPro camera, and it does look different and cool, but I don't think it's something that very many people need. I struggle with the use case when I would ever use it, but I do see there being a use case when someone maybe uses their GoPro as more of a rig camera. So you've got it built up, you maybe use it with a Ninja 2, kind of an external recorder, so you go clean HDMI out into a third-party recorder, and then maybe you want to be able to put on some different kinds of ND, maybe you want to be able to put on ND filters, or maybe you want to be able to put on polarizer filters, probably mainly ND filters if you're shooting outside. So you want to be able to do that, and then you want to be able to have external mics going into the camera. So once you start adding up all of these things, having a cage like this where you've got lots of mounting possibilities, you've got a 1/4x20 on the bottom, you've got a 1/4x20 on the left-hand side here, you've got a 1/4x20 or 2 1/4x20s on the top. So you've got all these different mounting possibilities and a hot shoe mount, and it really allows you to kind of customize how you keep all of these different parts, because what ends up happening is you've got your external recorder, you've got your mic, you've got a bunch of cabling, and really being able to keep all of this tidy and organized and somewhat compact and at least all attached and sturdy becomes really difficult and key to making this kind of setup work. So for someone like that, maybe they've got a rig or they're mounting on something like that, I can see something like this being valuable. But for the mainstream user of your GoPro camera, unless you really desperately want to add ND filters, and even then I think snap-on ND filters onto the either the waterproof case or the ones that push on onto the camera lens itself are probably or definitely a better way to go. Guys, if you're interested in checking out this product, you can check out it at chinabuy.com. That's linked in the video description. They were the ones who sent this over to me to review because it did look a little bit interesting and something that was just a little bit different than what we normally see in terms of GoPro accessories. So this is the dog cage for your GoPro camera. If you've enjoyed this video, you can make sure you can check out my channel for more videos, like the video and subscribe. And if you've got any questions or comments or other products you would like to see me review, leave them down below in the comments. I do read all of those and respond to as many of them as I can. Until next time, guys, thank you very, very much for watching.